Welcome back to House Guest with me, Hailey Fennel. I'm a psychic medium, and this is the podcast that connects you to the other side. Today, you are listening to a reading with Laura Dargan. She is an artist right here in Charleston, and she is a part of the research project going on with College of Charleston and Dr. Beth Sundstrom and Dr. Melinda Rothaus and me. Thank you so much for being a part of it, Laura. I'm about to look up her artwork, and I'm really excited for you guys to do it too. I said that because it's important. I mean, not just for the research study. This is for psychic mediums in general. And I'm really saying this for the people that are practicing it for themselves. If you know like a little bit of something about someone, you'll do this thing in your head where you're going to question like, gosh, is that something that I know about them? Or is that something that is truly coming through from the other side? And the more you do it, the more you go, you'll get better at differentiating between what needs to come through and what doesn't. But I haven't looked up her artwork yet, and I'm about to, and I'm really, really excited. And the only reason I didn't is because it's better not to know. You'll have more confidence in yourself, even if you get things wrong. Like you'll hear it in this reading, like there's some fumbly parts in there, but even if you get things wrong, then at least you know it's coming from an authentic place, especially when you're first starting off. There's nothing wrong with knowing your reader a little bit, but when you're first starting off, it can feel really, really good not to. And you'll get that like trust practice in there. And it goes for yourself too. It's like when you're connecting in with yourself. We'll get into that. You know what? We're going to get into that another day. I promise. But you can go ahead and follow Laura on Instagram at lauramdargan.studio. And you can go to her website at lauradargan.com. Thank you, Laura, so much for being a part of this, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to this episode. Thank you, Laura, for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to give you a reading, and have you ever had a reading before?
No, this is my first one.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I'll explain it a little bit. It's kind of just like any other job, really, really, truly, where everybody does it a little bit differently. For me, I feel like my specialty is connecting into the other side. So people who have passed away, occasionally though, it's guides in your soul, and I'll always try to let you know the difference, with what's coming through. I've also found over the past few years, but like really, especially the past year, um, that the reason they're coming forward is to give you the messages. And so they'll come and they'll kind of tell me a little bit about themselves. They'll connect in. We'll make sure that we know who they are. And then they'll start talking about what they want to say, the things that are like helpful and the things that you need to see, hear, and know today. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You'll hear me say like a funny part in the middle of the reading, which is like after I've connected in with someone, I'll say, hey, like, do you have any questions for me or for this person? And you're welcome to ask anything and everything. Like it's your time to get it through, to get those questions in. And feel I was gonna say feel free to have some freedom with it. I'll just be repetitive. There's nothing that I haven't heard. There's something that like the podcast people haven't heard before. So don't feel like you have to like hold back. Just let us know what the questions are and we'll kind of navigate it as best we can. Does that sound good? Okay. I'm not sure if I even asked you this yet. Do you have any questions for me before we start?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of questions,
Okay.
just fascinated with what you do, but
Yeah.
maybe that could be for another
Yeah,
day.
well, we can like save it for the end, or if it feels like it's coming up naturally
Okay.
at any point, just feel free to
Okay.
ask it.
That
But
sounds
yeah,
good.
sounds good, sounds good. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close my eyes, and you're welcome to close your eyes too if you want. You can also leave them open. It's just gonna be for a little bit. I'm gonna do a breathing exercise, but eyes open or closed, it truly works either way. And just start taking a few really good deep breaths. And just start to imagine that anybody and everybody you know who has passed away and is on the other side is coming forward. Imagine that they're coming a little bit closer and a little bit closer. You might even start to feel them in the room with you. And then just take a big deep breath. You might even feel them become one with you. You might feel them just right by your side. And just imagine that they see, hear, and know everything from where they are now. That no matter how long or short it's been since their passing, that they're coming forward, that they love you, that they know you. And then take a big deep breath and just imagine that they're here to help with clarity and direction, with any grief that we may still have. And then you can open your eyes when you want. I'm just going to write down a few things. Lovely, good, good, good. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, so there's like a few different people that step forward for you. There's a few different energies that I kind of feel like I'm playing with that are oscillating around me. I get someone that comes right about here. This usually means mom side of family. So someone coming through there. I also get someone that comes in quite younger, that feels like they could quite possibly be like within your own generation or younger, and we can get into that in a little bit. And then I also feel like what I get is quite possibly a baby that's on the other side. And we can get into that in a little bit too. Do you have like a preference with who I start with?
I don't.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, I think is like person on mom's side that comes in kind of shiny and good. Okay, lovely, good. And they just go like, I love you, I love you, I love you. They give me like a feeling of being a female on the other side, just like a nice feminine energy there. And of course, like we all have like masculine and feminine energy that exists within us, but they're just trying to point something out to me. Okay, hold on. They're coming a little bit closer. Hmm. Okay, fine. Lovely, good. This feels like I've got grandmother that's on the other side, like all of a sudden mom's mom, to make that super, super clear. She comes in really close though. Like usually when I get someone that hovers over my shoulder, it can mean mom, it can mean grandmother, like when they're that close, but she just goes like she swoops in all of a sudden. Sometimes when they come in that close, there's like a relationship there that she's trying to point out. Like, I love Laura. I'm close with Laura. I would have been close with her in life. Does that make sense to you? Okay.
A little
Um,
bit.
okay.
I might be a little confused, but I want you to finish because I don't know, I'm just processing. So
That's okay.
yeah,
And I might ask you in a little bit where the confusion is coming from, but I'm just gonna go with it for now. We're just gonna like see where it's going.
perfect.
Okay, lovely, good. Hold on. I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay, she comes in with a sense of like wanting to take care of you. Like it's like, here I am, and I want to take care of you. And if your mom's mom isn't someone that like would have taken care of you in life, that's okay. Um, I'm gonna ask you a funny question. Is that beeping on my end? Is
It's
it, do you?
mine, and I'm really
Okay.
sorry. do
No, I was like, oh
you
my
want
gosh,
me
is there
to
something?
do you want me to try and cut get the because it's on my laptop. The text is coming through my laptop, so that's why it's making
Oh,
noise.
that's okay. No, don't worry about it. I was just like, is that something that am
I'm so
I
sorry.
like missing? No, it's okay. I thought sometimes I swear the spirit world will do something funny like that on purpose just to like kind of get the energy like a little bit. This is a funny word for it and maybe a little bit juvenile, but like giggly, like, is
Yeah.
it like it like surprises me a little bit. So there's
Yeah.
someone on the other side that's like just making themselves quite apparent. I like it. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So if grandmother on mom's side, she wants to come in super, super caring. When she comes in close like this, she also at the same time shows me this. And this is funny, but I'm going to talk with my hands quite a bit right now. Whenever I get someone that gets me thinking up here, I know that they're talking about, hey, I take care of Laura from the other side. Like a big portion of my life would be after of my taking care of Laura would be after my passing. Like it's been a long time. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
So I'm over here and quite she gives me the number 6 just to let you know. So it might be something like she passed around the age of 6, or quite young like that. Does that make sense to you?
Um, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's
I'm not
okay.
sure what to think of it. Yeah.
That's okay. Just so you know, and you can even just like write it down.
Okay.
Um, But do you understand her having passed quite some time ago? Does that make
Yes.
sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
she's just like, look, I'm coming in for Laura. I'm there for her. And like, this is how I coddle her from the other side is the feeling of it of
Okay.
like I want to take care of her. She goes it's mostly from the other side because it's been a while, so she knows that like memories have been a while, like it's been a while since we would have connected in person is how she puts it. Does
Okay.
that make sense to you?
Yes. Yep.
Sometimes I'll get people like this in readings and she's like I just want to come in and make sure that Laura knows I'm there and I'm there to take care of her. Um um and she loves you so much. She's like, I'm like a heart opener. She kind of means that a little bit towards me too. Like, I'm going to open up Haley's heart to kind of like notice some of these other energies in there. Then, what she does for me, and I know this is going kind of quick, and we can definitely ask her other questions in a little bit, and I might have some questions for you about her too. But she kind of opens the door for me to like go into somebody in life that actually would have taken care of you, like how I could imagine them. Sorry, they're talking really fast. She opens the door for me and she's like, look, there's this other person on the other side that actually took care of Laura. Um, um, quite possibly was like either parental towards you or a parent of yours that's on the other side. Does that make sense? And she's like, Hailey, you have to pay attention down here. Down here just means generation lower than her, where she's like, there's someone more important than me, but I just really wanted to come in and say hi because I've been here on the other side for Laura for quite some time.
Okay.
That's from grandmother. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, and then I might get lost in whether it's mom or dad that I have here on the other side. But you do understand a parent on the other side, right? Okay. Are you okay if they come in and just start talking? Okay, good, good, good. Hold on, lovely, good. Hmm. Hold on. I'm gonna take a big deep breath. Oh, lovely, good. Generation. Lovely. There's like a just I love you. Like I love you, I love you, I love you. Mm. They call it more recent passing, is how they put it. And they call their passing quite quick. Life was cut short. Does that make sense? Like right at the end of it. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand having to make a decision around their passing? Like you or someone close to them, but being like, it's time. Like we can't keep holding on. Does that make sense? They say thank you for that. Like thank you, thank you, thank you. And I keep saying they because I have started to do a guessing game in my head, and so I'm just gonna ask you, is this mom or dad for you?
It's bad.
Dad. And that's just gonna help me when I say the right word, connect in even more. Hi, Dad. Okay, lovely. Good, good, good. So he says, like, thank you, thank you, thank you for making that decision. It was the right time to go. He goes, but you guys already know that. And you guys knew that that was my wish. Does that make sense to you? And if you need a moment, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Oh, I love the gut. Hold on. He's gonna come in a little bit closer. He goes, me, I get to take care of her. I get to do that. There's this new thing that has been happening in my readings where occasionally dads get pulled over to this side of my body. In the past, I've been like, hey, moms come over here and dads come over here. He just comes like all over. And I think that's why your grandmother kind of got to come first a little bit. She's like, I get to come first. Because he feels like quite a caring dad. I didn't have a dad like that. My dad was not like a caring father, but I love like my most favorite thing is getting connected to people's dads who are like, I can be like mom, like a motherly energy. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And they are just like energy on the other side. They don't have to be like he, she, female, they can be whatever they want, right? Um, just as we can in life too, of course. But he's like, I got to be whatever I wanted to be in life. I got to be like this very caring, gentle man in my generation that could be looked at quite differently. And he's very, 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 very proud of that. He could just go on and on and on. I'm very proud to be your dad. He's like, I'm Laura's dad. Those like mugs that are like greatest dad ever. I like when they do that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if he literally had a mug like that, but it's like he could be kind of like cheesy, cheeky like that. Like I was this dad, like so proud to like sport any of my kids' things or like put the honor roll sticker on the back of the car. He's like, okay. He's like, and then like really was one of Laura's biggest fans, is what he says. He does say something very quickly as I say that. He does say to keep going, keep going, keep going. And so like the current thing that you're doing in work now is going in a direction where it's on the brink of evolution. Does that make sense to you? Like it's about to evolve into something new and different, but we have to keep going to get there creatively. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And so he's like, we're gonna keep going, keep going, keep going, and like and get so deep. And then okay, fine. And then he does say something like zooming in on it to get to the next direction or phase. And I'm not sure what that means, but I'm gonna give it to you because all of a sudden he just like, like on a phone where you go like this.
Yeah.
He's like zoop and like zooms in almost to the point where I could see like the cells or the atoms, um, neurons. He's like, let's not talk about science right now. Um, but I love it. And he feels good. Okay, hold on. I'm going to close my eyes. Okay. He also says, and it's okay if we don't understand this right now, I do think he points to someone like in a younger generation too, where he's like, there's me, and then there's somebody on the other side, like younger, that he could pull forward. Does that make sense to you? Quite possibly a baby. Does that make sense?
It could. Yeah,
Okay.
in some way.
Um, and we can get into that later if you want. It's always
Okay.
just a choice. Okay, love it good. Hold on. Love it good, good, good. He gets like proud. He just wants to let you know. He's like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Okay, good, good, good. Here, here, here. And I'm just going to be quiet for a second. He's just coming in a different way, which just means he wants to talk about something different. He gets really proud of a bunch of things that he did in life. He's like, so I'm very, very proud of family, but then he gets proud of himself too. He's like, I really went for it in life. Like, if we were to think of his career, and for some reason he also puts travel like in the same sort of, not that he traveled for career, but like I'm proud of my career and then I'm proud of how much I like where I went and how far I went is how he puts it. Does that make sense to you? He gives me a sense of okay, fine. He gives me a sense of Germany for some reason, and then a sense of like going to visit ancestors or something along those lines. Does that make sense to you?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's meaning to that. The Germany, I'm not sure, must be something I'm not.
No, it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna explain it a little bit, because I'm just gonna check in with him. There's something like a French German is a bit of my ancestry. And so sometimes what they're doing is they're like using like a closest, fine, I'll say that, a closest relevance just to get me to talk about the thing I'm meant to talk about. And so when he said Germany, I did like a check in with him. I was like, are you talking about me? Or are you talking about her? Or are we talking about something that's like similar? He just told me to mention Germany. So I'm actually not sure. It actually
Okay.
feels more like a place that, and it's okay if this isn't true. That's okay. It feels like a place that he's actually been to or somewhere like near there is totally fine too.
Okay.
Where he's like, ooh, like I'm proud of this trip I did or this thing that I did. And it does feel like to connect in with family at some point, something like that.
Okay.
Um, and it's okay that it doesn't quite make sense now. I'll let him bring it up again later if he wants.
Okay.
Okay, fine, lovely, good. He does just very briefly give me like a star. It almost feels like a star that you'd like a pin that you would pin on to your lapel or something like that. He's like, it could quite possibly be like a sign or symbol that he's trying to show me, but like a gold star.
Okay.
Okay, lovely, good. Okay, hold on, lovely, good. And then he does want to he's kind of letting me know. He's like, Hailey, I want to let you know how long I lived, though. Like the way that I feel, I'm like, oh, but you passed before what we would naturally think of your time. He's like, yeah, but like I really stretched it. Like I really got in there and like lasted as long as I could. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Um, and he's like, and I'm really, really proud of my life. He goes, it was my time to go, but I'm so, so proud of my life. And he calls it, by all means, like the legacy that he leaves behind. And he means like you guys, like his family. Um, Lovely, good. Do you have any questions for him?
Um, I don't I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Um,
okay. Sometimes it's like the hardest question I ask. It can even be a question about him, or it can be a question about you yourself, like anything that you've been like wondering about so far or currently in life.
I don't know. That's a really hard question.
That's okay.
Think about it for a second.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm just gonna close my eyes, of course. Okay, hold on. Okay, fine. Actually, I'm gonna ask you a funny question. Okay, do you understand something with Germany for yourself or traveling abroad? Like it wouldn't just be to, not like just, but it wouldn't just be to England, but it'd be something like, I've said this many times on the podcast and I actually need to do it. I need to look at like a map and just remind myself of where things are. But middle European
Mhm.
countries, um, they do like it's either like we're going there or there's a want to go there or there's like a soul pull to go there. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, perfect. He's like, let's check back in on that thing, and he means Germany. And if it's not exactly Germany, that's totally okay. Like if it's more like the border of France or other borders that Germany shares with other
Yeah.
countries. Oh,
Yeah.
someone please send me like a
I know.
updated
I'm bad at it
and
too.
now I can Google it. But if someone sends it to me, then I'll remember to actually look at it because I will forget this like the second we sign off, it just
Mhm.
goes away. And then I remember that I don't know all that much about geography the second it comes up. Okay. I am going to say this really funny thing. There's some people that are listening to the podcast to get better at doing what I'm doing, even if it's just for themselves. And there is something that you can do that I'm sure my guides are pointing out to me right now is to like look at maps and be like, oh, yeah, there's like a feeling of Middle European countries that I'm feeling around Laura that dad brings up. And so I know I meant to bring it up. Now, if I go do the work and I look at a map, I'm like, oh, yeah, like now I remember from fifth grade where these things are. I might be able to pinpoint it even more. So I'm going to do that for myself just because they're pointing it out to me. But you could do it too, Laura. Like there's nothing I'm doing that you can't do for yourself. So you could also, though, fine. You could also for yourself look at a map and be like, gosh, like I do feel slightly pulled towards this place. But if I were to ask you, is there a place that like off the top of your mind, you're like, oh yeah, there is this place I've always wanted to go or just feel culturally attracted to?
Yeah. So Greece
Oh,
is
I love that.
a big,
Okay.
and I've been, but um, that is, you mentioned ancestors earlier, and that's kind of where
Yeah.
he's from, or his family's from, and so that was like a big thing that was
I
just
love
a
it.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
So we shared that trip together. He was, excited for me and, wanted to hear all about it when I got back. And so,
Mm.
yeah.
I love that so much. I love that so much. And there's something like, especially when they're bringing up memories like that. Uh, hmm. Oh, good, 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 good. He's like ancestors, ancestors, ancestors. Just give it. He's doing that just as much for me as for you. Being like, right, like when we look into that, when we follow that, like there's just this natural pull there, and sometimes we get to know so much more about ourselves when we follow through on these wants. Like I know that that's a big trip in my mind, and so
Mhm.
I know that's not like that's kind of the point, right? It's not the most possible thing to do, but when we find a way to do it anyways, then they get to be just that much more meaningful.
Right.
So he's just like, like, wasn't that so soul fulfilling? And what a great place to, even though you didn't physically go there with him, you got to come back and tell him about it and what like a beautiful memory that is. Sometimes when we think of things like that, or when we remember how we told like why we went on that trip and then how we came back and told stories from that trip, just even that little bit is your dad connecting in with you. So the next time you're thinking about Greece or that trip or the moments that you got to tell him about it or the little things you brought back for him from it, it's like and got to show him, he's like that's me like coming in and reminding you that we had this beautiful moment. And thank you so much. He's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I love it. Okay, good, good, good. Do you have any questions around that?
Um, I mean, I guess I feel weird asking a question, but I guess anything goes.
Yeah.
Um, has he connected with his parents or with any
I
of
love
his
that.
family?
Yeah. So we do. So I'm going to give you like the blanket answer, which is like we are all together on the other side. Like even my people are with your people right now. But when you bring up him, he goes, "Oh yeah, like I'm with them." And he goes, like if this is parents, he's doing it this way for me, but I'm going to turn it. He goes, if this is parents, like I got to I don't know why it does that sometimes. I like it.
Yeah.
I got to reconnect with them, like a celebration. Like, had it been like since I mean, like 19, 20 since when he saw them, like a very, very long time. Okay. He's like, I'll be transparent with that. I said 1920. That's a pretty typical time sometimes for people to like leave the home, right?
Uh-huh.
And but it wouldn't be as typical to like not see your parents really. And so he's like, yeah, like it had been like a really long time.
Uh-huh.
He's like, so reconnected for sure. I think that he might even have a brother on the other side that he's pointing out that
Okay.
he's with. And then he says like, and now I get to like watch over family members and I get to like see them, know them, be with them like just as much as anybody else. So he's like, yeah, like everybody's here is how he puts it.
Okay.
Lovely. Good, good, good. He also brings up like a male. I don't think it's someone that you're related to, but
Okay.
that you guys might have been close enough with to call uncle. That might have been like a really good friend of his, or and quite possibly like an older friend of his. Does that make sense to you? It feels a little bit
Definitely.
like a mentor of his. He just like, and I'll say this out loud too. Like even the way I'm talking, we're like, ooh, like I know I'm a little bit unsure of who he's pointing out, but that might sink in later of like, okay, someone like that. He's kind of pointing them out and being like, ooh, and like, but look who else is here who was like important in my life, who maybe kind of felt like a parent to him or a mentor to him. He's like,
Okay.
and this person's here too, and like we all get to be together, is how he puts it.
Okay.
I love that question. That's a great question. Do you have any other questions for me?
I mean, is there anybody else that he's with right now that's important?
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you, do you want to, there is like that baby energy, but we can just say he's just with like um a baby energy. He also gave, I'm gonna say a few of the things that he said that I just sometimes I write things down and I don't say them out loud in the moment. He says the name, or quite possibly just the flower, but the name Rose. He says Rose. And then he said the word sailor. I think I already gave you the number 6. Oh, and then he did bring up like a move or moving. He said move.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So just giving you things to like, if you have any questions about any of those, for sure, feel free to ask them. Or if there's someone that you're like, gosh, I was like hoping Hailey was going to bring up this person. Is there someone like that you're like, I was hoping
Mhm.
Hailey was going to bring up this person on the other side? Um,
But I
if you
think,
don't, yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Well, you kind of already brought her up in a way when we were talking about my grandma, but I was just curious as it related to my dad, like what, you know, um, if my mom was in there somewhere.
So do you have mom on the other side too?
Yeah, like I,
I'm just to make sure I'm clear. So you have mom who's passed away too?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Sometimes that's like this funny thing that happens, right? Where we're like, okay, there's like this feeling that comes in. This is typically where I get parents like right over my heart. And so you've got mom on the other side too, who would have also taken care of you clearly, right?
yeah,
Well, are you okay if I connect in with her?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take a moment. She goes, it's not that I'm not here. She kind of puts her hands on her hips, like, it's not that I'm not here. It's that it is 100% and always and forever. And there are going to be some psychic mediums that disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. It is that me as a psychic medium skipped over her because I like asked you like, is this mom or dad that we're with? And you said dad, and I jumped to dad, and I like as a human being was like, okay, so she's got dad on the other side, and it's right. It's like so hard to be like, oh gosh, she's got both parents on the other side. So she's like, it's not that I'm not here, it's that Hailey messed up, is how she puts it. She's like, and shows me like a little bit of her personality with that, but she like gives me like a big hug and a kiss and it's like, it's okay, sweetheart. Like she's so like kind about it. She's like, people make mistakes. She's like, but I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And she's like, gosh, like I love you, I love you, I love you so much. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna ask her. She's gonna come in a little bit because she's like, I'm gonna come in close whether you like it or not. I like it. Okay, good, good, good. She feels really good. She feels really good. She goes, I feel really good here on the other side. Like, I need to let you know that. Like, she all of a sudden almost made me want to like cramp up or feel like aches and pains. And she's like, I don't feel that way on the other side. And then she kind of goes like this to me, and she's so something with her brain feeling better too. Like um am present, and like this isn't a problem because we don't have physical bodies on the other side. We're just energy. She's like, how great is that? Does that make sense? Not to like make the other side sound glorious by any means, because and this is just a reminder for everybody listening and for all of us, that we're meant to be here. Like, we're meant to live life as full as we can. So she's like, oddly, I miss like the physical things going on. She's like, of course, I would like endure that 1,000 times more just to still be there. Does that make sense? And she just says like, I love you, I love you, I love you. She does go like this for me, which gives me the feelings of like, but it's been some time since my passing, is how she puts it.
Okay.
Like maybe like 5-ish years. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's like, okay, lovely, good. She's like, so we've worked, she gets kind of serious with me. She's like, so look, we've worked through some of the grief, right? Like she gets like a little bit like Laura's done the work. Like she's been working through my loss, and she's like, but it's still quite hard sometimes, and that's okay. She's like, it hits us sometimes that like neither of us are there. Does that make sense? Okay. And she's just like, I know. She's like, I know, I know, I know. Lovely, good. She goes, and it's especially hard sometimes when we feel the big things, like the big exciting things coming in life, because it's like we're not even there for her to physically tell us about. And she goes, but we know about it. Like we're the ones like helping curate it, helping like send it your way. And she's like, so we know about it and we are right there celebrating with you, like 100%. She's like, all of the time, even before you know it's coming, is how she puts it. She kind of gets very serious about not necessarily party planning, but throwing a good celebration is more the words she wants to put around it. She's like, this is a big deal. Let's go celebrate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I say that, she gives me like a coupe cup, I might even be saying that wrong, of champagne, like a
Okay.
coup? I don't know. Someone tell
Yeah, I
me how
don't
to
know
say
how
that.
you say that. Yeah.
I know, but I know how to say, I'm like spelling it in my mind as I'm saying it. My producer Lindsay is gonna know. Maybe she can hop on here and tell everybody how it's really said, because she's like the smartest person in the room always. Um, okay, so she hands me that and she's like, a big celebration is coming, and it's a little bit like, get the glasses ready, get the champagne ready, is how she puts it. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
And she just goes, she like starts clapping. She's like, congratulations, congratulations. And she kind of calls it the balloon drop. I know we like had balloons, I think, come up earlier. But she's like, a
Yeah.
balloon drop moment is how she puts it. Not that it necessarily has to have that, but that's like the feeling that she gives me around it.
Okay.
Do you have any questions around that?
Um,
Or
is
for her?
is the celebration? who- What do you know? Can you find any details what she's talking about with what
Mm.
celebration? I'm just
Yeah.
curious if she's
I like it. It feels like it has something to do with you and your career, like a big
okay.
thing coming up. It feels, because I was like, are we celebrating Laura and someone? And she's like,
Uh,
well, yeah, there's like those moments for sure, of course. She goes, but especially if you can imagine like a mom coming in and being like, but I want all the attention to be on Laura. Like I want it to be about her. So I'm gonna be celebrating her, is what she says. Does that make sense to you?
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good, good, good. Hold on, I'm gonna get one more thing from her. She just goes, I'm just feeling quite lovely here on the other side. And she kind of points to like her physical looks. And she's like, this, of course, but also just like, I feel lovely from the other side. And she goes, I'm also the one that's like edging you, pushing you forward, more in a supportive way than anything else. She's like, Laura's got it. Like, she doesn't, she's always been, she's like, Laura, I don't have to worry about Laura. Like, she's always been the one, like a go-getter. She's gonna reach out and do the brave things and like get it in for herself.
Mhm.
She's like, but I just want her to know that I'm like right behind her, cheering her on. And every time she needs like a little bit of a nudge, she's like, that's from mom. That's how she puts
Amazing.
it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Um, well, I mean, I was just, and we don't have to go into this. I know we're at our time, but I'm curious about the baby that was kind of
Yeah.
coming up. I'm just curious what the meaning behind it. I don't. I'm just out of curiosity, but if we are out of time, that's fine. We don't have to.
No, no, no. Let's do it. Okay,
Um,
I'm just gonna explain to you the feeling of it. And sometimes it's
okay.
hard to connect in. We'll just see. But the feeling of it, and sometimes when I get something similar to this, I'm either talking about like a baby that passed away in infancy or quite possibly like a miscarriage or an abortion. And I'm unsure if that's with you or if it's with mom coming through, since mom's on the other side. She can also be bringing it up for herself as well. But
Okay.
that's like the very generalized feeling of it. Of course, like that energetic being is okay. And like all good on the other side, but your parents like pointing out that there's just something there. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I'm just yeah, I'm not sure. Like I feel like there's like little things that I can connect with that, but maybe not personally with me. Um
Yeah, and that's
and
perfectly
yeah,
okay.
um
Yeah.
but yeah, it does just I just think that's so interesting because I feel like if I think about it more, I might be able to like, you know.
Yeah. And so especially because it's not personally with you, it might even be more of a fine, I'll say that, hold on. It might even be more of a hold on. Okay. More of a something to think about, and your own intuition around it is going to be way more important than mine. So if you're like, gosh, like maybe Haley's talking about this, it's not that you have to share that information with anybody. It's more just like a knowing that like, okay, there's this interesting thing happens. When we lose a child, especially that young or before they're born, or from perfectly great choices, which is an abortion. And there's something with that soul that just wants to come in really quickly that's like, look, everything's okay, like all good here on the other side. Um, and if anybody has any questions about that, I'm totally happy to answer them. I just wrote down, I've never gotten this from the other side. They're like, look, there's this other option that's happening in there, which is a baby coming at some point. But that's always a choice too. And so I'll say that in readings often. It's like, children, babies are always a choice. There's nothing that like no decision we can make that is going to, uh, that is going to like prevent a soul from coming in. Like at some point in some way, whether it's biologically or not, the souls that are meant to be in our lives will find us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and that's just to clear up for like, because I know there's gonna be some people listening that are like, wait, but what if, but what if, but what if?
Right.
So hopefully that's like as clear for anyone that's wondering any of those things. Um, but don't feel like you have to go down a rabbit hole and overthink it by any means. But if it does click at the right time in the right place, then just be like, okay, I think maybe this is what Haley was talking about. And for whatever reason, that feels good to me, that information feels good to me in this moment. If I think of it in this way, then that's usually what the message is, because that's how they connect in with us, is like with the good, the calm, the neutral. Um, and I keep trying, what I'm doing in my head is I'm like, can you give me more information? Can you give me more information? And they make it fuzzy for me, to be honest. So I'm not sure if I'll get any farther with that.
Is it possible that something like that could be related to um, just like someone else who is in my life that is just a friend or something like that? Like, is it something that could be creeping in from there, and that maybe someone's trying to tell me
Yeah.
something to relate to someone else? Like, is that possible, or does it not really go that?
Yeah, it's for sure possible, especially if it's like top of mind, either for you or for them. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. I do like to say in readings, when I sit down with someone, it's never that like this reading's for you,
Mhm.
and it's never that you're meant to give the messages to somebody else. If you feel like it would be something like if they bring it up and you're oddly like, well, like I did have this psychic medium one time tell me, like it comes up naturally in conversation, but I never get messages that are like, oh my gosh, you like have to tell this person this
Mm,
thing. It's more just to let you know.
mm,
But if it ever feels right to be like, this psychic medium told me this one thing one time and it feels comforting in the moment, then I think that's great, right?
Yeah.
Um, what was that else was I going to say around that? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's like, oh, fine. I'll say that. Okay, fine. I'll say that. I actually don't know any psychic mediums that do this. I really, truly don't. So anyone that I've recommended to anyone follows a very similar practice of mine. Um, which is, of course, if you like have a psychic medium that's like, you need to tell this person that they like have to have a reading with me, right? Like, they need this message or they need that, like, it's just not ethically right. So on the other side, they know that too. So they'll never give me messages that are like, you have to tell this person. So then they tell this person. But of course, like if it comes up naturally, you don't even have to mention like who you got the reading from. But if it just feels good to be like, hey, like this is something I heard and maybe something I like feel in my soul that I believe, or something a little bit different, but still feels good to you, then sometimes it can be helpful to share. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Thank you. I love that question though. I don't think we've ever talked about it in depth like that on the podcast, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura, will you tell everybody where they can find you and follow you?
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram at lauramdargan.studio, where I kind of showcase my artwork. I'm a painter, and you can catch me at lauradargan.com also. And
Okay.
have a couple galleries in town as well. At
Are
Mill
you
Gallery.
local to Charleston?
Yes, local to
Ah,
Charleston.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm here in Charleston, and um, yeah, this is great.
I love, okay, so I can't wait. So we're going to follow you at lauramdargan.studio, and then we can find your work at lauradargan.com and locally around Charleston, which Charleston art, like there's been something going on for like years now, but I just love it. Like the amount of creatives and artists that are here just lights me up, and can't wait for everybody to look you up and follow you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being a part of this study. Um, and thank you for sharing your loved ones with us from the other side. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this reading, and thank you for being brave enough to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for letting me participate.
Thank you guys so much for listening to House Guest. I hope that you guys enjoyed that episode with Laura. Again, you can follow her at lauramdargan.studio on Instagram, or you can go to her website, lauradargan.com. I really appreciate you guys liking, listening, subscribing, sending this to a friend if you can. And thank you, Laura, for asking such great questions and letting us connect in with your people. I hope that you guys have a really great day. And if you would like to be a part of the research project, get a reading on the podcast. They are free, and House Guest is the first and only place that I'm going to be announcing them. So there's likely only going to be one more round because we had such a great response the first time. So when I open up those spots, this is going to be the first place to hear about them. I hope that you guys enjoyed and have a great day.